Welcome to this channel. The channel is for education and culture based on historical and scientific evidence. So yesterday I shared this video to our friends to prove that Chinese Kung Fu, Wing Chun, 1850, the Emei connections is about details, technical detail on how Wing Chun works. It never is like people think. Most styles do this kind of two-hand rising. It is pretty common. So I give you all the details in the video and people be able to test it out. To prove that it is about details, a lot of details on how to make things works, how thing is different. It is not really superficial, everything is the same, everybody is raising their hand, okay? Now, after I share the video, I get many feedback. Some is they are actually testing out what I am saying in this video, and they get result. Some is saying that I am the one who making thing up, adding Emei and so forth, so forth. So today, I like to share with the world with the evidence of all the past 160 years and all the grandmaster's signature to open the entire thing up for everybody in this world. Okay? Now, I am making this video not to put down anybody. I am just presenting what it is so that here on, nobody is going to say this. Oh, everything is the same, it's common, it's pretty common. Oh, this theory, that theory. This video will show you the evidence, not theory, okay? Presenting evidence by evidence. So don't give me all those theory and all those, I think so, I interpret so, or my concept or whatever, okay? Now, so yesterday, some friends sent me like this. I try out the yin yang hand. It does open the chest. I'll be damned. So I asked them, you compare with other ways in today's Wing Chun Qing? Is it with his open form sequence? Yes. This is 11 a.m. And then at 3 p.m., I did the half yin yang exercise. I feel I exhale and make move downward, abs go 360 degree, and I feel abdominal pressure when I inhale. Now you can read it, okay? Take a snapshot and read it, what people say, okay? And here another one. This morning, I also did the half yin yang exercise, and I can tell that could deeply breathe and handle my intra-abdominal pressure. Was on the version 1960, I couldn't handle my breathing at all because it was stuck in the chest, which create a lot of pressure in my lung. Okay? So this is those friends who tested out what I'm sharing here and writing down this. So why do I know it works? Why I know that everybody be able to just follow it and get the experience? Well, it is simple. The first thing, that's how I was trained. That's what written in the 1850s writing. You need to know the details. It's not just two hand rise up, okay? It's not common at all. And another thing is I verified it with today's medical and sports science. So this is this solid. As soon as you are human, you are not from Mars and you are not living in the movie. It got to work. It got to like this. The 360-degree, feel the abdominal pressures when I inhale, I cross arm up, I feel abs expand 360-degree, and I feel my abdominal pressure and the breath go deep. Why? Because there's science, today's science, modern science, which verified the entire thing. Okay? So that's why it works. The ancient now verified with the today's medicines, science, sports science. Now, as for those who say that I make things up or, you know, all this thing, let me share with you. This is about 10 years ago, my video. You look at this and the half yin yang, the half yin yang, okay? Look at it again. The half yin yang I'm talking about in this video, where everybody try it and where everybody know that it works, okay? Now, if you think I created, let's go to other Cho family lineage where I have no connection with them. This is Posok, Penang, Malaysia. This is 15 years ago, okay? This is in one of the Cho family lineage. He is well known. Look at what he do. Look at what he do. Isn't it the half yin yang there? Even though there's some modification there. Now look at another one. This is another lineage. Many years ago, 2 years ago, whatever, you know, look at what he do. Now you see that? So, sir, there's the DNA, the half yin yang. It disregards of how you distorted it, or you don't really get the full teaching of the intra-abdominal pressure or the qi inside. You always do the half yin yang. So you cannot say, well, Henry, you created. I don't know him. I don't know him. We never met. Different lineage. He do things differently, but the DNA is always there. Okay? Now, if you're speaking of me, is actually making up this thing, well, don't give me too much credit. I'm not that good to can make up 11 signature in Emei Zhuang, where the grandmaster, one of the gatekeeper type of level of person in China today, be able to identify 11 signature and say, yes, it's related. If I can make those kind of false, how to say that, replica, well, I don't have to be sitting here. I must be some kind of grandmaster. Okay? So don't give me too much credit. Also, don't give me too much credit because I cannot create this anti-Qing stuff where you can check in the Chinese history that this thing exists in the uprising. And also, I don't have that capability to create this Shaolin short strike where the real deal in short strike is always you have the the leg arm, where you're managing the opponent, the body, you jam the opponent, you pressurize the opponent, and your left with two hands to strike him. So this is, in today's term, you can heard that this is called big bow, pressure steps. This is called as my son, close to the body. So you give me too much credit that I can create this. Okay. Now, let me share with you. The name of the Xiu Lim Tao 1850 is Xiu Lim Tao. In English term, this is translated as the essence of details training. The essence of details training. So where is this details? Small. Small. It's the mean details in Chinese here. Okay. Xiu Lim, meaning that details training. Well, this is Emei Zhuang. He said that you need to taste the small character or the small details. Over here, he said that you need to experience that small details when you training. Okay. So the name is this set. When you practice this form, this set, this 1850s long set, I don't call it Cho family because Cho family can be this. So tell me which one. I don't call that. I call this 1850s. Why? Because you have to follow this content. Okay. So if you practice this long form, you need to pay attention to all the details. And that teaching, that characteristic, that uniqueness is from Emei Zhuang. Now, in Wing Chun, there's one saying, dim dim cheng, every point has to be clear, clean. That's about details. Every point has to be clean. Dim dim cheng. So all of those are DNA of Emei. So stop to tell me about all this. Most style do this kind of two-hand rising. Okay. I mean, it is pretty common. Don't tell me that. Know your details. If you want to talk about Wing Chun, if you don't know your detail, guarantee you have no idea on the intra-abdominal pressure and your breathing. So what is this and the intra-abdominal pressure and breathing? Why is it significant? Why is it important? Because your Wing Chun's internally train the breath, 内练一口气 is that is the bottom line. Okay? So if you don't have the details, you don't know the details, you make all the conclusion or whatever summary or whatever idea you want, sorry, you completely miss it. You don't know what is Wing Chun is about, or Wing Chun 1850s is about, to be more specific, or ancient Chinese culture is about, okay? So, as what I mentioned, check it with the modern science. It is legit, 100% scientific, okay? Now, let's look into the 1870s Wing Chun. Let's look into the DNA signature of 1870 Wing Chun. You see that the signature of all I share with you here, all is half yin yang. Okay, all is half yin yang. That's 1850. Now look at 1870 Wing Chun. Now we know that in the history, something happened. 1850 is the anti-Qing. 1854, the uprising broke out. The Qing shut down the Red Boat Opera Association. No Red Boat for no opera for next 1 decade or more. And the Wing Chun 1870 is the Wing Chun created after the Qing approved the reopening of the opera group and the Red Boat. Since then, 1870, all these people are actually supported by Qing government. History is like that. At that time, a person named Dai Fa Mingam was teaching in the pro-Qing Red Boat. And his student, okay, so what this Dai Fa Mingam teaching is the snake crane Wing Chun. Dai Fa Mingam's student is Feng Xiucheng, the very famous Feng Xiucheng. And another one is Luo Tiyin, who wrote this book. And this is written in 1880s. Okay, 1880s, like late 1880s, 1890s. Okay, this is a year. Feng Xiucheng and Luo Tiyin, guess what? They are both Manchurian Qing's government officials. They work for the Qing government. So Feng Xiucheng, this Dai Fa Mingam, Feng Xiucheng Sifu, have already surrendered to Qing. He is not the anti-Qing. That is the reason after the 1870 Wing Chun, you never see this anti-Qing salutations or these female salutations, because Wing Chun is from the female, the male play female roles, part of the anti-Qing opera. Now, so this teaching passing down, as in this article where you have Yin Kei San, this is like Liang Zhan. Okay, now here. Okay, so this is, you can see this article, and you have all kinds of stuff here on Wing Chun, using the name term Wing Chun, eternal spring. So it's better to open up, okay, here. So it mentioned about the Liang Zhan. It mentioned about Yin Kei San, and also this 1 second. So over here, it mentioned also the snake crane riding, which is Yin Kei San is passing it down to his student Sang Nam. So it is all on this book. Now, in this book about Xiu Lim Tao riding, it is this. It is not this. It's not all these details. And the name here, 1870, have changed to Little Idea, Xiu Lim Tao, Little Idea. Is no longer the essence of details training. Okay, it's no longer the essence of detailed training where it linked to Shaolin and linked to General Qi Ji Guang. It's something else they create. Now, so if we look at the same signature of this thing, somebody who create the Wing Chun of 1870 on the treatment of this thing. Okay, let's look into the snake crane Wing Chun. Okay, since this is a snake crane Wing Chun, look at the snake crane Wing Chun. Snake crane Wing Chun, look at it. Okay, it's not half yin yang, it's this way. Look at Sang Nam, the student of Yin Kei San. Since we don't have Yin Kei San's video, we don't have his video, we don't have Yin Kei San, we don't have Yin Kei San's video. Okay, so this is over here it said, somebody said that this is Liang Zhan, this is Yin Kei San. It's all the writing there. So we don't have the Yin Kei San's video, we look at Sang Nam's video. How he do that? Since they follow the snake crane too. Okay. Now we look at San Hua Sun's, how they do that, which is Liang San's student. Okay. San Hua Sun's lineage. This is a San Hua Sun student. Okay. This is from Liang Zhan line. Look at how Grandmaster Yip Man do it. Look at how those in Kulou do it. The Grandmaster in the Kulou do it. Look at this, how the Yao Chui's Wing Chun do it. Yao Chui Wing Chun. Yao Chui Wing Chun is based on Yun Kei San. Yun Kei San's brother, and Ng Zhong Shou. Okay. Okay, it is suggest you might also have received some instruction from Zhan Hua Sun. So look at it, how you do it. Now you see the DNA clearly. All the 1870 And after Wing Chun is doing this type of stuff, doing this type of stuff, doing this type of stuff. Doing this type of stuff, doing this type of stuff, or doing this type of stuff. None of it doing this. Okay? And also disregard of Tai Fa Ming Gam teaching or Liang Zhan teaching is this type of stuff. They have variations, but they belong to the same group. That's the DNA. You can see that there exists two types of Wing Chun. One is the 1850s anti-Qing. One is 1870s pro-Qing Wing Chun. And the pro-Qing Wing Chun was created by somebody starting with this kind of stuff. And that also tells you, whoever create that have no idea on the intra-abdominal pressure handling. Do not have that breathing take into considerations. Even though it looked really similar like the 1850 in the beginning, but it is a different stuff. It doesn't have the details. So again, it is not everybody is doing the same, rising two hands. Now we get into the details, get into what does it activate. So by evidence, I cannot go to time travel to ask everybody here, and I do not have the authority to ask everybody here to doing this. You guys doing it, they do it by themselves, their teaching, their transmission, okay? And you know that it's all linking to one thing. It's linking to the Snake Crane Wing Chun of 1870. It is not anti-Qing, okay? And it doesn't have over the riding here. And the entire riding here, it doesn't have the handling of the breathing and intra-abdominal pressure. Like the 1850s Wing Chun and like in the Emei Zhuang, that details. Okay, so all this thing like here you say that spontaneously follow the breathing and the qi flow. Okay. Over here it says spontaneously follow the breathing and qi flow. Of course, it's using the first four, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is there are 7 characters here. 6 character is the same. The last is change it. Okay. Here it says 一任自然顺气脉. Here it says 一任自然气脉长. One, so the 1850s Xiu Lim Tao writing here is saying that spontaneously following the nature, the breathing, to develop the breathing and the qi flow. And the Emei Zhuang say spontaneously follow the nature of the qi flow and your breathing. Your breathing and your qi flow. So it's the same thing, but they're using a different character, one swapping one character or those kind of things. So that's what happened. Okay. And please don't give me all the credit that I can create all this thing. I just study it and I notice on the small details because it tells you already. Xiu Lim Tao, meaning that you better pay attention to the details. Okay. So now we know that when you talk about Wing Chun, you have to be really careful. Is it 1850s Wing Chun or is it 1870s Wing Chun? 1850s Wing Chun, there's anti-Qing. 1870s Wing Chun, there's pro-Qing. So disregard of this Liang Zhan, Dai Fa Ming Gam, all those, they are belong to the 1870s Wing Chun. Or else, why is everybody do this? Everybody do this. So in Liang Zhan's lineage, you have this Chanhua lineage. You say that, oh, this is the what? The straight body Wing Chun. Well, he did that. Okay. Yip Man lineage, it did that. Gulo, it did that, right? So you look at DNA, you know. You know when is the art is created, you know what is the content of the art. It's not just two hand rising, okay? There are a lot of different to saying that everything is two hand rising. Between this rising, this rising, this rising, or this rising, they are completely different things, completely different technical details and the technical content. So with this, we know on the story of Shaolin Wang Chun and the Wang Chun on the Feng Xiuqing, Liang Zhan, Feng Xiuqing, which is the student of Dai Fa Ming Gam, which is the guy who taught this snake crane Wing Chun, okay, which is the Qing pro-Qing, and they call their art Wang Chun, okay, where you can see all here. You know there are evidence of, or there are some truth inside there, okay. If you go ask our friend in Shaolin Wang Chun, they have a lot of document on this, and they have their story written like this. And as I share with you here on this thing, you know there's some truth inside there. Because right now with the DNA, we can see it, okay. And also right now we can really clearly know that, hey, when we talk Wing Chun, you have to separate this 1850 or 1870. We want to separate is an anti-Qing, real anti-Qing, or the red boat from the pro-Qing. And also you need to know, the 1850s this is not what your 1870s this, okay? So don't learn about this 1870s and make a conclusion like this person, oh, you know, it just raise both hands, raise high up. Sorry. You do this, like we can check it with science. We can check it with all the people who test it. You know that you do this, you're going to get the pressure in your chest, and you are not going to get the 360-degree breathing. It is science. Science verified what happened in the technology of 1850 versus the 1870. I won't say who is good, who is bad. But hey man, this is different. If you don't have that content, you don't have the content. You don't have the breathing and intra-abdominal pressure, you don't have it. That is the fact. Why argue? Why say that, oh, this is the same, everything is the same? It just shows that people don't understand what is going on, don't know what it is, don't have the experience. So With others, we know the Shaolin, Wing Chun, Romans, and a lot of things is true. There's some truth in it. Okay? So, finally, we in America, I don't want to deal with all this, my lineage is better than your lineage and blah, 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 all this politics and like a code. What is not in the 1870s, but in the 1850s, in terms of the breathing, intra-abdominal pressure, and so forth, is now in the book in America. I have transferred it from Asia from ancient China, because in the past 100 years, you don't see those kind of things in the public. Transfer that to America, map it with science, sport science, be able to verify it, so everybody be able to get it. It's just in the book, okay? I want to make it educations. All is education. You don't have to pay me red package, and you don't have to bow to me, and you don't have to visit my home every day and every year and bring me to lunch. It is like physics books. You look at it, you can understand, you can know what it is based on science. And everybody, like all our friends who have tested out what I share on that video, be able to get it, be able to experience it. That's how it is, this education. So this is what I like to share with you. So right now here, the case of, oh, Wing Chun is not from Emei, Hendrik created this. Oh, raising hand is the same. You better get the technical evidence on your hand before you say something. Not everybody is grandmaster, sorry. Okay? As I share with you just now in all this video clip, all the grandmaster for past 130 years of the 1870s Wing Chun do not aware of that intra-abdominal pressure and breathing issue. The details inside there as the 1850s. Seeing is evidence. Human body is human body. You do that, you analyze with science, you know that you compress the chest. You do that, the same thing. You're going down, you move up. What is the magic? The magic is because when you inhale, in the same time you move up. Remember the Emei teaching and the Xu Lin Tao 1850 teaching. He said follow the breathing and the qi flow. You gradually follow it. It's like you're putting a boat, and then when in the tank, when the tank raise up, the boat raising up. You synchronize everything. Yet for this or that is you are not follow the intra-abdominal pressure and breathing measure anymore. You just man-made or manipulative, just moving this hand. That's how it is scientifically, okay? So finally, I know this is heavy for maybe the entire world, because this can shock everybody. Now, I know this not because I am a genius, I am expert, I am the grandmaster, or I belong to this lineage, I want to sell you this lineage. I'm not. I'm just an engineer in the Silicon Valley using the engineering practice in the Silicon Valley, that type of standard to check into everything to see what is what, to sort the entire thing out. That's who I am. So don't learn something from me thinking I'm a grandmaster like in the movie and so forth, okay? I'm not. I'm just an engineer. I make a study and I want to see everything clearly by evidence, be able to scientifically proven, and by multiple point data to prove what is what. So sorry, this is not a theory.